all the best boxing content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and punch that bell for notifications.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is being brought to you by DiBella Entertainment, along with their great sponsors, Nulio.com, Manfredi Auto Group, and Everlast. Our three judges assigned, scoring on a 10-point mustum, will be Ron McNair, Kevin Morgan, and John Signorelli. When the bell rings, our referee in charge, the third man in the ring, will be Shade Murdoch. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the action continues with 8 rounds of boxing in the lightweight division. Introducing to you first, fighting tonight, out of the blue corner, he's wearing black trunks with white lettering and weighed in at 137 pounds. Coming to us from Toronto, Canada, he brings a professional record of 7 wins, 3 defeats, 5 draws, with 2 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mighty Tebor Brosch. And his opponent across the ring, fighting tonight out of the red corner, he's wearing white trunks with gold trim and weighed in at 136.5 pounds. Fighting out of Los Angeles, California, by way of the Ukraine. He was a 2008 Olympic alternate, and now as a professional, he is undefeated with 11 wins, and 10 of his 11 wins come by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Ivan Redkach.
Okay, gentlemen, I expect for you to conduct yourselves like professionals. Obey my commands at all times. Protect yourselves at all times. When I call for a break, I want you to give me a clean break. Now touch gloves and let's go to work. Step back.
Ivan Redkach, Tebor Brosch. If this fight goes the way this stare down just went, these guys got some evil intentions, don't they?
I tell you, Redkach would scare me. He scared me just now, and he wasn't looking in my eyes.
Redkach in the white trunks, the gold trim, and Brosch coming right after him in the black trunks.
We like that.
Absolutely.
We really don't know what to expect from Brosch, even though he's had 15 fights. They've all been in Canada.
Here comes Brosch, body shot there by Brosch.
Push on his ass! Don't let him be comfortable!
He is just trying to smother Redkach right now.
If he's comfortable, he's good.
Brosch says he's fought a couple of lefties prior. He says he likes fighting lefties. I think I can see why he turns them into stationary targets with that pressure.
Yeah, going to the body, followed up with a headshot, Brosch did.
Good left hand to the body by Redkach.
There's another left hand by Redkach.
And given Brosch's aggressiveness, that left hand of Redkach is going to be key. I have a feeling he's going to be landing it quite a bit.
No one's going to leave himself open. Here's another left hand followed up by a right by Redkach. Big left hook, and again, Redkach some punishing body blow.
Oh,
body shot, that one hurt.
Left hands to the middle of the stomach.
Oh my goodness, he's got Brosch against the ropes, teeing off.
Brosch never been down, never been stopped.
He is taking some punishing body shots by Redkach.
Something tells me the way Brosch started this fight upset Redkach a little bit.
Absolutely. Another left hand. That was an uppercut. Sends him back, a punishing uppercut. Brosch is hurt. Let's see if Redkach can finish him off. Left hand up against the ropes, and that's it. What a performance by Ivan Redkach. But Brosch took some punishing shots.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the official time. 2 minutes, 7 seconds of round number 1. Our referee in charge, Shade Murdoch, steps in, stops the contest. Your winner by way of technical knockout, and still undefeated, Ivan Redkatch.
Tonight's bouts are brought to you by WORLD WEEKLY DiBella Entertainment. Sponsored by Corona, La Cerveza Más Fina, Everlast, EAI Inc., and Diamante's Brooklyn Cigar Lounge. Judges ringside, Glenn Feldman, Don Trella, and Steve Weisfeld. Your referee for this contest, Steve Willis. Introducing first to my right, fighting out of the blue corner. He wears white trunks. Official weight, 135 pounds. He has a professional record, 7 victories against 14 defeats. He has 5 wins coming by way of knockout. From Memphis, Tennessee, ladies and gentlemen, Dedrick Damage Bell. And his opponent across the ring to my left, he is fighting out of the red corner. He wears black trunks. He tipped the scales at a ready and even 140 pounds. His professional record, a perfect one. 10 fights, 10 victories, 9 of them coming by way of knockout. From Los Angeles, California, Ivan Redkatch.
All right, time for the tell of the tape, Ryan Adams.
All right, gentlemen.
All right, look at the undefeated record of Redkatch. He has 9 KOs and 10 bouts, but Bell have 5 KOs in his 7 wins. So look for bombs being thrown in this bout.
Redkatch is, of course, one of those top prospects. We've seen him before here on Broadway boxing. He's always been impressive, Steve.
Yes, very much so. He's very aggressive. He's definitely one of the top prospects at this weight in boxing, 10-0, and an exciting fighter. And the difference here, he has a lot of amateur experience. Bell had no amateur fights.
Redkatch, of course, in those black trunks, silver trim. Derek Bell out of Tennessee in the white trunks.
And talking to Derek Bell at the weigh-in, he said he would be a little more aggressive. This fight out, he don't know much about Redkatch, so he's looking to take it to him. But his posture is more of a defensive posture here early on in the first round.
Redkatch, of course, the southpaw, sizing him up.
So if you take a look at Bell here, his back foot always in the position to slide back. His movement, body movement, is not that of a forward type boxer.
Redkatch gets him on the ropes, connects with the left to the body. Here's another left that connected Bell. And they exchange a couple of punches on the ropes.
Dedrick Bell lost 10 of his last 11.
Oh, there's a right that hurt him. It stumbled Bell. He's in trouble, and he holds on.
I was about to say, Brian, the reason he's here, he's lost 10 of 11, but only 1 by stoppage. So he's here to give Redkatch rounds if he can.
You can hear Redkatch's corner saying, going to the body, take the body.
That was
Bell's
a nice
still
right
hurt.
hook.
Yeah, he's still hurt. Redkatch is taking that advice. He is pounding, digging body shots, and that Bell goes to the canvas.
See, Dedrick Bell,
Oh, another
nice
big
right hook.
left to the body, and Bell goes down again.
Redkatch showed what he's all about. He's very aggressive, and the fact that he stopped Dedrick Bell in 1 round, the fact that he beat him means very little because Bell has lost 10 of his last 11. The fact that he stopped him so quickly and convincingly speaks volumes about why Redkatch is such a high prospect.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Steve Willis calls a halt to this contest. The official time of the stoppage, 1 minute and 55 seconds of the very first round. Your winner by TKO and still undefeated, Ivan Junito Redkatch. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the main event of the evening. This bout is scheduled for 8 rounds in the junior welterweight division. Brought to you by DiBella Entertainment. Sponsored by Manfredi Auto Group, Nulio.com, and Everlast. Sanctioned by the New York State Athletic Commission. Chairwoman in attendance, Melvina Lathan. Judges ringside, Frank Lombardi, Tony Paolillo, and Robert Perez. Your referee, Sade Murdoch. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from the 4 corners of the world to the 4 corners of this ring, here at the Roseland Ballroom, the fight starts now. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, he wears white with green, red, and gold trim. He weighed in at 137 pounds. Professional record, 17 victories against 10 defeats. He has 2 draws. He has 10 wins coming by way of knockout. De Sonora, Mexico, ladies and gentlemen, Sergio Rivera. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner. He wears white with gold trim. He weighed in at 138 pounds. His professional record, a perfect one. 13 fights, 13 victories, 11 of them coming by way of knockout. From Los Angeles, California, Ivan Junito Redkatch.
Okay, gentlemen, I've always given you instructions. Obey my commands at all times. Protect yourselves at all times. When I call for break, I want you to give me a clean break. Touch gloves and let's go to work.
As soon as you see Sonoma, Mexico, on a guy that's 27-10, you know that he's a tough guy. and tonight, Ivan's in with a tough guy. You know, in his last fight, he'd been running through guys like a knife through butter. He went the distance for the first time. Here's a guy who's a tough guy, been through the grinder. He's got 17 knockouts, 27 wins. You know, he's 27-10. He knows defeat, but this guy knows victory far more often. Ooh, and I want to see if Redkatz's power takes control tonight or not.
Redkatch is already connected with a right hook. Redkatch, the white trunks, the gold trim. Rivera, white trunks. It's got the green and gold.
Now, Redkatch was one of ESPN's prospects of the year, a guy on their list, on Dan Rayfield's list. A very, very tough guy and a guy that really could be a championship contender, I believe. You know, he needs more experience. He needs rounds. A lot of his early fights were quick knockouts. I think the last fight that went the distance was actually helpful for him, but I have to admit, I'd sort of like to see this end a knockout.
Who certainly is one of those guys who's got that natural punching power. You know, some guys can train, develop, but I mean, it's natural with this guy.
No, absolutely, right? And again, he trains to inflict pain.
And he has popped. Look, Rivera a couple of times so far with the jab, and has followed it up with a left hand.
I may be crazy, but I think Redkatch should give Gamboa some problems right now. Am I crazy?
I think.
Oh, there's a left hand and hurt Rivera.
That was actually a knockdown. His gloves touched.
It should have been a knockdown.
It should have been.
His glove did indeed touch, and I'm sure we'll see that in the replay later.
You mentioned Gamboa. I think Gamboa's movement and speed may give him problems right now. I think he needs to get in there with someone.
Oh, and the left hand. That hit him flush.
This fight is not going long.
4, 5,
I think that's safe to say.
6, 7,
Because he's landing.
8.
I don't think he
9.
wants any more.
You want to go? Come to me. Go.
He never answered. He asked him twice.
And that's it.
He never answered.
That is it.
Referee Murdoch asked him twice. He never answered. I mean, what can you do?
You can't do anything, and you know what? He could have gotten up and he could have gone forward, and he would have been knocked out.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Sharday Murdoch calls a halt to this contest. The official time of the stoppage, 2 minutes and 6 seconds into the very first round. Your winner by TKO and still undefeated from Los Angeles, California, Ivan Junito Redkatch.
There he is, Ivan Redkatch. First round knockout for him. Now 14-0, 12 by knockout.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for our featured bout. It is scheduled for 10 rounds of boxing, and it will be for the vacant USBA Lightweight Championship. Brought to you by DiBella Entertainment in association with GH3 Promotions, Greg Cohen Promotions, and Showtime, along with their great sponsors, ivypoker.com, Bacher Magnetics, Maple Avenue Boxing Gym, the Fitz Tunica Casino and Hotel, and Everlast. It is sanctioned by the Tennessee Athletic Commission, along with the USBA. Supervisor tonight, David McCullough. Our 3 judges scoring on a 10-point must system will be Gerald Deming, Teresa Mullins, and Mac Thornton. When the bell rings, our referee in charge will be Randy Phillips. And now, ladies and gentlemen, live from the Cook Convention Center in Memphis, Tennessee, this is our Showbox main event of the evening. Introducing to you first, to my right, fighting tonight out of the blue corner. He's wearing black with silver trim and weighed in at 134.5 pounds. Coming to us from Cornwall, Ontario, Canada, he brings a professional record of 17 wins, just 1 defeat, with 7 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Tony Lightning Lewis. And his opponent across the ring in this main event, he is fighting out of the red corner, wearing red, white, and green, and weighed in at 134.25 pounds. A native of Shatska, Ukraine, he is now fighting out of Los Angeles, California, and he is undefeated with 15 wins. 13 of his 15 wins come by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Ivan El Terrible Redkatch.
Yeah! Terrible time! All right, guys, we've already been over the roof. Y'all listen to my commands at all times. You protect yourself at all times. Any questions? Touch the gloves. Good luck.
All right, Redkatch really has a serious glare at the fighter as they come to the center of the ring, too. Very Tyson-like.
Yeah, and speaking of Tyson-like, the tattoo Redkatch has on the right side of his body looks like the same tattoo Tyson has on his face.
Yep, sure does. Maori. He is all business, Ivan Redkatch. Oh, nice combination, left the body, right the head. Sharp jab.
Straight as an arrow, that right hand down the middle. Very straight. Excuse me, left hand, should I say.
Redkatch, 300 amateur bouts. He was a sub for Ukraine in the 2008 Olympics. And Lewis, a good Canadian domestic amateur. Pro experience, you can see that Lewis has a lot more rounds, I said before. That's because Redkatch has so many early knockouts.
Redkatch right there did what he needs to do. He got, Lewis got Redkatch turned for just a moment.
Well, I don't doubt for a minute that Lewis can hit Redkatch. Redkatch could be caught with right hands all night long. Question is, can he do it enough to discourage Redkatch?
Right. Good right handers, the left hand by Lewis.
And Lewis tells him to come forward. That's what he wants.
Can't stress enough the fact that this is a big jump up in class for Redkatch. And so much is expected of this guy.
No nonsense guy. Told us he watches tapes all the time, constantly. really a student of the game. And also, we've always talked about, we mentioned at the beginning of the show, what this series is about. It's about prospects becoming contenders. And Redkatch's people said, you know what this does? It gets him used to the hype, it gets him used to the lights, it gets him used to the pre-fight interviews, it gets him used to the big stage.
Yeah, and he's just beginning to learn English. He understands it pretty well, doesn't speak it that way.
Box!
I'm not sure if that was a punch or not.
Well,
Lewis thought it was.
Redkatch's glove touched the canvas, so if it was a punch, that could have been should have been a knockdown.
And he just landed he had landed a left uppercut before he touched the floor.
That'd be interesting to see.
Well, I'm impressed with this first round from Lewis because Redkatch was determined from the opening bell to show Lewis that how much power he had. Lewis has absorbed that power in the first 15 or 20 seconds and come back strong.
Yeah, I think a very competitive first round here. If this is a sign of things to come, not going to be a walk in the park for Ivan Redkach.
Oh, that's good movement by Lewis so far.
That's a good right hand that Redkach just walked into. All those on the gloves, including that one. Not that one, though. That left hand did get through, and I think it definitely got Lewis's attention. And now, let's see, are they going to call that a knockdown? And that one they are.
5, look at me, 6, 7, 8, you all right? Box, stop.
That was a flash knockdown.
Back up.
And then the knockdown at the very end of the round.
Very similar, actually.
Yes, and nonetheless scored a knockdown, which means 10-8 round for Redkatch.
Yeah, that was a very good left hand by Redkatch.
No punches, no punches. All right, you got to listen. All right? Box.
Right hand by Redkatch. Caught Lewis a little off balance.
I get the impression Redkatch has Lewis right where he wants him because this fight's turning into a brawl. And Lewis feels the need to try to match Redkatch's power, something he probably can't do.
Yeah, it's too early for Lewis to get in a brawl right now with Redkatch. He needs to weather the first couple of rounds and take him into deeper waters. Later rounds, something that Redkatch hasn't seen.
Come here. We got to listen, okay? All right? Box.
That's what I've been telling Barry and Raul for years. You got to listen.
That's right. And we just don't do it, Raul. I don't know. The professor over here.
But I wonder if Lewis is trading and attacking pretty fiercely himself out of desperation.
Maybe. Working the body pretty well, actually.
Get off his head.
That's where he wants to be.
Step back.
I mean, this is a must-win situation for Lewis. I mean, he said that in the fight when he's losing is not an object. An option. Excuse me. He knows he needs to win. And he's showing it.
He's getting Redkatch going backward, but.
Punch out.
Well, the good thing about fighting on the inside for Lewis is it takes away Redkatch's 7-inch reach advantage.
Right, exactly.
If nothing else.
Let's keep them punches up. All right, break. Step back. Keep punching. Let me hear them. Come on, y'all.
Hey, maybe sometimes you need to bully the bully, right?
Hey, this is not a bad round for Lewis.
No, it's not.
He's not giving Redkatch any room. You know, he is tall and lanky, has the reach, but he's not giving him any room to throw his combinations.
You can see Lewis isn't a puncher. What he is a value puncher.
Let's see if he takes a point away here. He's been warning Lewis for low blows.
Made a miss right there.
No punch. Step back.
Redkatch has a tendency to wind up with his punches. Stop! I think a pretty good round for Lewis, actually.
We were going to get a translator, but we didn't know what country to call.
Exactly.
Well, Redkatch does understand English pretty well, and that's what they're speaking. Really good round in 2 for Lewis. Outpunched Redkatch 22-14. Only 38 punches from Redkatch in round 2. He got outworked badly. And Lewis seems to be onto something here with his mugging approach.
Yeah, and I like what his corner said too. Hit him on the elbows, hit him on the arms, hit him anywhere. It doesn't matter. Just don't square up in front of him.
I agree. So far, he's doing a great job of that, and it's going well for him.
All right, break, no punch. Step back, come on, step back. Box.
See, Lewis can't give Redkatch that distance. That's when he's in danger. Don't give him that distance. Crowd him.
You're right, Ro.
That's it.
Yeah, and now Lewis is on the inside. That's why Redkatch's jab is such an important punch with that big reach advantage he's got.
Redkatch looks a little bit frustrated right now.
Break. Step back, no punch, step back.
I know it's too early to tell, but I think he's getting exposed here, guys.
Good uppercut by Redkatch. Lewis's corner saying don't stand in front of him. That's a good idea. That's where he wants to be, right here. And he's doing some business.
He is. Yesterday, his corner told us
step back, no punch.
Lewis is so mentally tough. And I think we're beginning to see that. Redkatch may still knock him out, don't get me wrong. But he's not going to easily break him down mentally.
Not at all. He's got the hand speed, he's got the experience, good body punching, good ring intelligence. And he is by far the toughest guy, the most experienced guy that Redkatch has fought. And he's showing it here tonight.
Yeah.
And while it's very early in this fight, I think the first 30 seconds was critical because Redkatch came out looking to make a statement and looking to steamroll his man, and Lewis is still there.
Look here. What's the time? Okay, but you got to keep your punches up. You're getting below. You need to shut up or leave the ring.
Randy Phillips being a cop out there.
That was directed to Larry Army, the manager, who's smiling right now. The manager of Redkatch, formerly the manager of Edwin Rodriguez.
Randy Phillips may be a little close to the action here. That is not a knockdown.
He's going to be a very tired man by the end of the night. He's worked 3 of the 4 fights. The same judges, by the way, working all 4 of our televised fights.
No punching, no punching. Step back, step back. Box.
This is round 4 of this 10-round fight. Lewis got there with the right hand, caught Redkatch right on the chin.
All right, break, step back. Step and no pushing. Step back.
Lewis right in Redkatch's chest.
Box.
And he needs to keep doing that. Push him back. Push him back on his chest and let his combinations go. And they keep yelling at him not to square up, because he squares up, then he's there for that lead left hand, right hook from Redkatch. And it's powerful.
He's after the uppercut as well. That left uppercut from Redkatch has been effective.
This is what he wants to do, and he's been able to do that quite a lot tonight. Certainly keeping him in the fight.
Why are you breaking him? Because they ain't fighting. Box.
Lewis's corner, why are you breaking them?
Down his head.
Referee says because they're not fighting.
All right. Break.
And you know, sometimes that could, I mean, it depends on what kind of referees, but sometimes that could mess up a fighter's rhythm.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, Lewis, he's got a good rhythm going. You break him apart, you push him back, he's got to start all over again.
Let go of his hand. Let go of the arm. Fight out, your hands are free.
Now that's the right way to referee.
They don't want Lewis to load up. Just stay busy, stay on top.
All right, break, step back. Watch your heads. Box.
Now, Lewis, at the very least, is doing a good job of taking Redkatch out of his rhythm. I'll tell you, as close as Randy Phillips is standing, he runs danger of getting hit.
Yeah, when they were on the inside before, Barry, it's funny you said that, because I noticed that actually Lewis was looking to dig his feet into the ground to punch, and he was stepping on Randy Phillips' shoe.
Yeah. I'll tell you, I think Lewis fighting a very smart fight. In there with a stronger guy.
Break, step back. Step back, no punch.
His experience is showing. His will, and he's making the proper adjustments.
Show stats tell us Redkatch still with a significant edge, both in percentage and connect with power shots. Yeah.
See, I think this is exactly what Lewis needs to do.
Absolutely, it's frustrating. Redkatch, he's lost in there.
Yeah.
It's really bothering him, that pressure.
Okay? Box. Stop. Back up. You need to back up. Back up. Back up. Box.
Had to look at that bell. Pretty weak.
No
This is round 5.
All right, break. No punch. No punch from behind. No, no. Stop it.
Since Redkatch joined the manager Larry Army has added a strength and conditioning coach and a nutritionist. Could be key factors here because this is a physical fight.
Very much so. Good right hand by Lewis.
All right, break.
Redkatch doing the holding.
Step back, motherfucker. Step back.
And Redkatch making it ugly. I mean, Lewis making it ugly. And that's exactly what he wants, I would think. This is what Redkatch wants.
Yeah, you can't give him that distance. Lewis cannot afford to give him distance. There you go, close the gap. Yeah, gotta close the gap. He closes the gap.
And he's able to do it relatively easily, too.
Pretty easy, yes.
Okay. Don't be doing
Tony Lewis with a big edge and experience in terms of rounds, as you can see, 5 or more. Redkatch pretty new to it.
Very busy. Lewis very, very busy in there.
Break.
Well, the bullying advantage or factor that Redkatch might have been counting on is certainly gone at this point in the fight.
Absolutely.
Stop. Come here. You're starting to wrestle too much and you're using there, but stop it. If y'all don't want to fight, that's y'all's problem. Box.
Well, I think it's Redkatch that's doing the holding, huh?
I think so.
Halfway through the fight, and Lewis has accomplished what he wanted to. He's taken him to deep water.
Absolutely. Step back. Absolutely. And he's taking the fight to it.
Redkatch not blessed with very fast hands. He's so strong that when he lands, he has an impact, but he's not a fast fighter. And let's look to see if his punching technique suffers as this fight goes along, which happens a lot to big punchers when they have to go long rounds.
Yeah, and as you pointed out earlier, and we've talked about, he's stepping up in terms of competition here. And, you know, there's that possibility maybe he's not ready for a guy like Lewis yet.
I agree. He's definitely showing his inexperience. And when you see a fighter looking at the referee and asking for help, it means he's lost.
Well, Redkatch threw Lewis into the ropes there, but Lewis got the warning from Phillips for headbutting.
In fact, I've given Lewis the last 4 rounds.
I love it when we disagree.
I know, and we don't.
Redkatch ahead.
And we don't very often.
But we are the ones that don't listen.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
We're going to find out if...
Oh, there was a good shot. And that hurt Lewis. And Lewis is in trouble. Trying to hold on here.
Don't turn around. Box.
He brought that uppercut. It was another good left hand. And Lewis still in trouble against the ropes. Lewis in a lot of trouble now. Takes a right hand.
He's clear-eyed, though. He's clear-eyed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that right hook definitely, right hook definitely staggered Lewis. Redkatch found the right distance. That's what he has to do.
Clash of heads there. Lewis gets him turned. That was a real clash of heads.
Yeah, Redkatch might be cut right in the middle of his forehead, high up.
I think Lewis is cut also. That was a nasty headbutt. Did I hear Randy Phillips say there wasn't any headbutt?
There was a headbutt.
Oh,
yeah,
clearly.
I think Lewis, I think he's dazed. I think he's still dazed from that punch and perhaps the headbutt too.
Go back to the corner. All right, back up. Y'all gotta watch your head. Stop. Box.
Not only was Lewis cut and the blood is dripping from the forehead, but Redkatch has a mark on his forehead as well.
He does.
Clearly a butt.
It was like they were like battering rams.
All right, break. Step back. Step back. Step back. Break. Step back. Step back. Box.
So now let's see if that changes things in this fight.
Step back. Come on, guys. Let go.
Lewis's corner is going to have some work to do.
Yeah, and you know you can't stop a cut that's on the forehead.
No.
Any fan of professional wrestling will tell you that when a fighter is cut in the forehead, it just bleeds forever.
Good left hand by Lewis, and I think that hurt Redkatch.
Right. Let go. No punching. No punching. No punching. Step back.
Well, assuming Randy Phillips does call that cut from a butt, 4 rounds have been completed. We would go to the card if the fight is stopped because of the cut.
Lewis continues to brawl here.
I think there's a little bit of a sense of desperation from Lewis at this point because of the cut.
Yeah.
And he knows he got hurt too by the straight left hand down the middle, down the pipe from Redkatch.
Lewis throwing hard punches still.
No punches. No punches. Step back.
Redkatch needs to take a little step back. Just let him fall into that straight left hand.
An indentation from that butt. That's how hard a butt it was.
It was both of them, actually. This is round 7. But Redkatch brought that from his heels.
Guys, I have Redkatch at 58-55. I take it your cards are a little different.
I got to add it up here. Not good at math.
I got a 57-56.
That's what I had.
I mean, excuse me, for Lewis.
That's what I had.
1 point, yeah.
And predictably, blood right away from the forehead of Lewis.
Oh, another headbutt.
Hard to tell whether the blood's going into his eyes.
Yeah, if anybody's having the problem here, it's got to be Lewis with the blood getting in his face. And when it gets in your eyes, I mean, you see cloudy, it's not the same. Makes it very difficult. Just something that is going to be there and bothers you. And he ain't got no choice but just keep attacking that way.
Yep.
But his motivation should be that, I mean, the guy, let me see, Redkatch, I think they were able to stop his cut, but if it was a cut above his eye, you would target that cut and try to open it up more. So far, the guy that's beating more here is Lewis.
Good jab from Redkatch. He stepped on Phillips' foot again.
There you go.
I think Redkatch, he's got the momentum going.
He does, and he seems to be carrying his power well into the second half of the fight.
He's going to know he's been in a fight, win or lose.
And I'll tell you, I don't think that Lewis came into this fight with this plan, to mug Redkatch and get on the inside, but it's exactly what he's doing, and it's working in a sense. He's having his moments.
Yeah, because he's a lot shorter than Redkatch, and that makes it makes it difficult for a tall guy to fight a short guy.
Well, I think he's giving himself the best chance to win the fight.
I'll tell you what, when I was fighting and I was a taller guy, I hate fighting shorter guys. Just, you got to get down to their level or keep them from the outside. Oh,
good left hand from Redkatch, and another one straight. Luis seems okay though. Comes right back at it.
All right, punch out, get out. All right, punch out. All right, break. Step back, step back, step back. Box.
Good right hand again at the bell.
Box.
This is round 8.
All right, break. Step back, both of us. Step back, please, gentlemen.
got the fight dead even.
That's the way I have it too.
And I have Redkatch up 4 points. Wow.
Watch your head.
Well,
Step
I
back.
don't want to break the news to you guys, but total power punches through 7. Redkatch 135, Luis 71.
They're obviously wrong. No, I'm a big believer. Good left hand there. And a right hand behind it.
Luis almost fell over the ref, who works very close to the action.
Yeah.
A little too close. Look at how close he is.
That was a right hand by Luis.
Yeah, that shook Redkatch.
Luis starting to come upstairs now. He's been working the body.
Let go. No punching, no punching. Let go with it. No punching.
Takes a deep breath.
Back up. Box.
You can see that Luis, when he does get on the inside, he is totally squared up, and he's not going to get any power that way.
All right, break.
You got Luis's cut in his forehead, still bleeding. See that looping left hand that Redkatch throws it. He's been successful with that. With that looping left hand.
A little swelling under the right eye of Redkatch.
All right, break. Step back. Step back, gentlemen. One got to step one way, one the other way.
It's a monologue, isn't it, from Randy Phillips?
I can't believe how close Randy Phillips works to the fighters.
Yeah.
He's going to be stepping on their feet. They're going to be stepping on his feet. It's an accident waiting to happen.
That or he's going to get hit by one of them looping shots.
Yeah, we may find out how good a chin the referee has.
Go, Tony, let those hands go.
There you go again, contact between the fighter and the ref.
Yep. Boy, close to another headbutt right there, too.
All right, break. Step back. Step back. Let go. Step back.
Those punches caught mostly on the arms.
Watch y'all's head now. All right, break. Step back. Step back, guys. Step back. Stop.
This is the 9th round of this scheduled 10-round fight.
All right, break. Step back.
And neither of these fighters has ever been as long as 9 rounds.
Well, I now have Redkatch in front in this fight by a point. I know you have greater than that.
Yeah, I have it much wider for Redkatch. Don't forget that 10-8 round also in the first round, guys.
Right. Oh, that's right.
Oh,
Check that. I had it by 2
go.
points. I told you I wasn't any good in that.
All right, break. Oh, get your head out. Box. Keep him up, keep him up.
This fight has been narrated by Randy Phillips.
Yeah, it has been a monologue. They don't even need us.
I'm going to send Randy to his room right now so we can finish this fight without him.
Watch y'all's hand now.
Look how close he is to those fighters.
Yeah, I'm close enough that it's hard for us to see the fighters.
All right, break. No punch.
what's been consistent from round 1 through 9, and maybe perhaps the biggest reason I have Redkatch ahead. He's still throwing the harder punches.
He is.
All right, break.
A lot of will and heart here by both guys.
Both of you step back.
Yeah, it's been a real battle. This is where Lewis wants the fight. He's been there most of the night, but Redkatch, according to our numbers, still the busier fighter.
No.
Well, I'll tell you, Redkatch's defense when he's against the ropes or on the inside is not bad. He's not getting hit by all those shots. A lot of those shots are just Lewis moving his hands, not necessarily purposefully.
No, I think that's true. I also think Lewis is tired, and I think of the two, he's the more tired.
Something been missing from Redkatch's jab. We just saw a good one there.
No punch.
I think Redkatch needs to get back on the outside, just back with the stick. Getting some lateral movement, in and out on his toes.
I agree, Raul. That jab's been underused by him.
Yes, but then again, that's not his style. Get on his toes and move in and out.
Doing a pretty good job on the ropes here. And your point well taken, Steve, that a lot of Lewis's punches being caught in the gloves.
Whoa. All right.
So as you heard, not a lot of confidence coming from either corner, which should make for an entertaining 10th round.
But Redkatch, Mario Morales saying you need a knockout. Go get a knockout.
Yeah.
I got an 86-84, maybe Mario Morales seeing the fight that way.
I have an 86-83. I forgot about that 10-8 round, the first round.
No punch. Hey, I got him. Don't be shoving. Don't be pushing.
Oh, that was a good shot by Redkatch.
That was at the right distance.
There's a good shot. Left hand. Came from the heels. He's throwing a lot of those punches.
And every time Lewis gets hurt, he punches right back.
Yeah. He's nothing if not a warrior.
All right, break.
Very different fight than I expected to see from him.
Yeah.
Break.
And I'm glad that cut in the middle of the forehead has not really seemed to be much of a factor.
No, they've done a pretty good job on that.
Not bleeding at all now. What an invaluable experience for Redkatch, win or lose or draw, because he's learning you can't get rid of everybody, and he's a hard 10-round fighter after this one.
Good right hand again by Redkatch.
Yeah, he put in a lot of work.
Step back.
A lot of work for Redkatch.
Step back. Brace. Step back.
I said at the top, Redkatch, because of all the height, needs to be really impressive, and he's trying to finish him in the 10th.
Yes, he is. Really having a good round here.
But he's not getting a knockout here because of how tough his opponent is, not because he's not landing power shots.
Yeah, Redkatch is definitely trying to close the show here, but...
Good left hand again by Redkatch. And another one. And right back comes Lewis with a right hand of his own. Inside a minute remaining in the fight. And Lewis having his moments in this final round also.
All right, break. Let go of him. Let go. Break. Let go.
30 seconds remaining in the fight.
Big shots by Redkatch.
But Lewis had an answer.
Lewis comes back.
Brutal stuff.
Really? What a tremendous round.
I think you could be sure Ivan Redkatch could be a pretty exciting TV fighter for a long time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'll watch Tony Lewis anytime as well.
Absolutely. This has been a great fight.
Most definitely. I agree.
Bigger than advertised. Good shot right there. And that's it. It's over. Terrific fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 10 rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Gerald Deming scores it 99-90. Judge Teresa Mullins scores it 97-92. And Judge Mac Thornton scores it 97-93, all in favor of your winner by unanimous decision. Still undefeated and now new USBA lightweight champion, Ivan El Terrible Redkatch. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for our featured bout. It is scheduled for 10 rounds of boxing in the lightweight division. Brought to you by WORLD WEEKLY DiBella Entertainment in association with Showtime, Hits Boxing, and the Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. It is sanctioned by the California State Athletic Commission, Commissioner John Frierson, Executive Officer Andy Foster. Our 3 judges scoring on a 10-point must system will be Tony Krebs, Max DeLuca, and Fernando Villarreal. Our referee in charge, the 3rd man in the ring, will be Ray Corona. And now, ladies and gentlemen, live from the Morongo Casino Resort and Spa here in beautiful Cabazon, California, this is our Showbox main event of the evening. Introducing to you first, fighting tonight out of the blue corner. He's wearing blue and white and weighed in at 137 pounds. A native of Accra, Ghana, he is now fighting out of Los Angeles, California, and brings a professional record consisting of 19 wins, 5 defeats, 2 draws, with 17 of his 19 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Yakubu, the Black Mamba, Amidu. And his opponent across the ring in this main event, he's fighting out of the red corner, and he's wearing green, white, and red, and weighed in the same as his opponent, 137 pounds. Fighting out of Los Angeles, California, by way of Shasta, Ukraine. He is undefeated with 17 wins, 1 no decision, with 13 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Ivan Redkach.
Let's go, 2 seconds. Mouthpiece. Get your mouthpiece. This is good here. Real high, brother. This is gonna be good right here. Touch gloves. God bless.
And it should be noted, too, that Amido is a tough guy, never been off his feet. Redkatch's mission, of course, is to make that happen tonight.
And this is also a battle of the 2 best and most famous gyms in America right now. Amidu from the Wild Card in Hollywood, and we have Redkatch from the Garcia Boxing Academy in Oxnard. So battle of the gyms as well as battle of the lightweights.
That's right. Robert Garcia in the corner of Redkatch, as Raul Marquez pointed out early on in this program, the amateur experience.
Yeah, Redkatch, 300 amateur fights. He was a sub for the Ukraine in the Olympics in 08, and Amidu only 50 amateur fights. In pro experience, you see that Amidu turned pro 5 years before Redkatch, so that explains the big difference in rounds.
Amido from a boxing family. His father was a trainer in Accra, Ghana, and his brother, Abdullah, was in his corner tonight as an undefeated fighter, having had 21 fights without a loss.
So far, both guys just trying to establish their jab, establish that distance. Sooner or later, we're going to see them throw more punches. Amido said he wants to make him fight when he doesn't want to fight, just take him out of that comfort zone.
Remember, these 2 have sparred together. Sometimes when that has happened, a little more tentativeness in the ring, at least initially.
Of course, I mean, they know each other, so. But sparring is different from, you know, got the big gloves, the headgear. But they still got to know what each other's about, feel their power, their moves, and all that means a lot.
And neither one of them really remembered a lot about the sparring session. They sparred 4 or 5 rounds. We were kidding about Mexican music that was played in Redkatch's ring walk, and he just admires Mexican fighters and likes their style, and kind of wants to do that himself. It's one of the reasons he's in Garcia's gym. Sporting the Mexican national colors on his trunk.
Wants to win the Mexican fans. I think he already did by that with the music he came out with.
Where was the sombrero?
Yeah, maybe next time. I think he heard you.
A slow start for both guys. They're both pumping the jab but not landing much.
Yeah, it surprised me that Redkatch is usually starts faster, but I think that's something that, we talked to we're talking to Robert Garcia. He said sometimes he throws too many unnecessary punches. This ain't the amateurs, you gotta make the punches count, and that's exactly what did right now. It's making them count.
There's a counter left hand slipped in by Amidu there too. We come to round 2 of this 10-round fight. First round really a feeling out round. Both corners basically being cheerleaders between rounds, saying good first round.
Probably too early to say this, but I see a little bit of Robert Garcia's influence already on Redkatch, because he wants Redkatch to use his right hand. So many southpaws just ignore their right hands, and he wants the right hand as a weapon and as a setup for the left hand. And I saw a little bit of that in round 1.
It looks like he tightened up on the defense, more tight, more frame defense, shorter punches up the middle. See, like that was a short hook right there by Redkatch.
Double left hand from Redkatch.
Both these fighters capable of going 100 punches a round. Not seeing that kind of work rate yet.
What Redkatch said in the fight means he wanted to throw at least 100 punches around, and it seems like a slower pace right now, just taking his time. He's very relaxed. I think he's in control right now so far, but he can't sleep on Amidu, because he gets better as the fight goes on. He's in good shape.
Yeah, it's a good point, Raul, because Amidu is a slow starter. He threw only, 39 punches in round 1.
Yeah. I do want to mention that that fan that was being tended to and had caused that momentary delay in introducing the fighters is fine, being tended to by the paramedics. They did a great job, and she is conscious and apparently fine.
Dr. Eddie Ayub ringside, a staple here. I have relatives by that name, by the way. Ayub.
Do you?
Yeah, I think he's related to me. I mean, dude, not really getting off yet. He's not backing up, and he doesn't back up, but he's also being outboxed right now.
Yeah.
There's the left hook. That's his best punch. He tends to slap, Amidu does, with the right hand, but the left hook is his punch.
They told Amido to move to his left, to move away from Redkatch's left hand. But if you see, he's moving to his right, and not every fighter could do that with a left-handed guy. He's moving to Redkatch's, moving to his right, Amido, and he's gonna run into Redkatch's left hand. He's running into it.
Yeah, and by moving to his right, he can't get his lead foot outside of Redkatch's lead foot, which is what you want to do against a lefty.
Right, they're fighting over foot precision there, see, and Redkatch is beating him at that. You see his foot is on the outside of Amido's lead foot, and that's why he's getting off his combinations.
Get the sense that Redkatch is starting to get into range also. Good counter left hand from Amidu. He's just getting outworked.
Yeah, 45 punches from Amidu in round 2. Well below not only his own average, but the division average, which is in the high 50s.
They want Amidu to be first, and he's not doing that. The only success he's had really is in a couple of counter left hands. uppercut was caught on the gloves of Redkatch.
You know, Redkatch made the change of going to Robert Garcia, you know, and he trains around all these world-class fighters, and they push each other. And, you know, for a mental stage of a fighter, that means a lot. Your attitude changes, and you want to be like this, guys. You want to compete with them. You want to be better than them. And I think that was a good change. Good decision by Redkatch.
That's something you had, Raul, as a young fighter.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, when I was with the Dubas, I mean, I was a young up-and-coming prospect. I trained around Evander Holyfield, Pernell Whitaker, Melvin Taylor, Mark Breland. Trained with these guys. We stayed together, you know. We ate together, so
it affected you, yeah?
It helps you. You want to be like this. You want to be a champ.
This is so far really just a case of volume on the part of Redkatch. A lot of those punches are being caught on the elbows and the gloves of Amidu, but your point is well taken, Steve. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, he's going to win the rounds this way. And Amidu looks like his game plan, at least right now, is to outbox Redkatch. He's not doing it. And it's really not Amidu's game.
There was a left hand rather slipped in by Redkatch.
Nothing's really coming in there by Redkatch, keeping his, Amidu, Redkatch keeping his guard up. Very close, compact defense.
That uppercut did get through.
Seems like Amido just can't pull the trigger, like his head, like, you know, his mind's telling him, I got to throw, but he's not letting him go.
That was a nice three-punch combination, and right back with another is Redkatch.
A little bit too hesitant, Amidu. Now that's what he's got to do. He's got to go to work and push him back. It was effective there.
This is round 4 of this 10-round fight. Just a case so far, at least, in my opinion, of just one guy just doing a little bit more than the other guy.
Yeah, but it seemed like in the last 15 seconds of the last round, Amidu had a little momentum going. Yeah. A little bit busier, and he's counter-punching, landing some good shots. Needs to start off this way. Can't let Redkatch eat up the rounds. Got Redkatch up by all three rounds.
Same here. You know, Amidu, 17 of his 19 wins by knockout. I don't consider him a puncher. I don't think he's a big puncher. He's a volume guy. The good news for him, he broke 60 punches for the first time in round 3.
And they want more out of him now.
Redkatch is in the pocket. It's not like he has to go hunt them down.
No.
Caught him with some good shots, Redkatch.
There was a nice combination. That right hand, maybe the best punch in the fight.
Every time there's a 4 or 5 punch combination, it's thrown by Redkatch.
Again, coming outside in a little bit more as Redkatch is starting to catch his man. That was about 8 punches unanswered by Amidu.
Amidu's durable. He takes a good shot. Like I said, he's never been knocked down. And Redkatch said he wanted to knock him down. He wanted to be the first one. Let's see if he could do it. He's going to have to work the body more. Amidu takes a good headshot, so you got to break him down and make him drop them hands. He's covering up really good, Amidu, keeping his hands up.
And when Amidu's been punching this round, he's been very successful.
Yeah. There was a counter left hand by Amidu. Amidu trying to work the body, and now it comes an uppercut.
This fight's heating up, guys.
Yes, it is. And he does get better as the fight goes on. This is the 4th round. He's getting better, picking up the momentum. And then now he's pushing him, Redkatch back.
Both guys doing better work here in this round, actually.
You know, this kind of fight makes you a better fighter. For Redkatch, he's got to be able to adapt and make some changes, because if Amidu keeps that rhythm and he keeps pushing him back, he's going to get in problems. Staying in the pocket too long. Robert Garcia said you throw, you move, and you move out of the way. Give him a little angle, move to the right, move to the left. Don't stand in front of him.
There was a nice uppercut by Redkatch. And Amido again slips a right hand through the guard of Redkatch. Another left hand. Redkatch counters with a combination of his own. This has been a good round on a right hand by Amido. Outstanding round. Clearly best round of the fight.
Let's go, gentlemen.
So we come to round 5, and even though I thought round 4 was Amido's best, again, I agree with you, Steve, it wasn't enough.
Because of that flurry midway through the round. Amidu, 76 punches in round 4. We talk about him warming up.
And Robert Garcia really abhorring Redkatch to do exactly what you suggested, Robert.
Yeah, that's why you need a trainer like Robert Garcia. His experience, he's been in big fights. You know, Mayweather, McDonough doesn't get any bigger. He doesn't lose control. A lot of novice trainers, they lose control, they panic. You know, when the fighter loses a big round or gets hurt. And Robert Garcia, you know, he keeps his trainer in tone. I mean, his fighter keeps him poised, keeps him relaxed.
Time.
It's a low blow.
You all right? Take a second. Hey, stay there. You all right? Yeah. All right, don't take revenge. He lost. No more chances for him, all right? Hey, no more chances, okay? You got to get it up. You hit him hard there, all right? Let's go. Time in.
I don't know. I think no more chances being said by Ray Corona. That seems a little harsh. I don't remember any previous low blows.
No.
The energy level of Amido is just up so much. He's more animated. He's moving his upper body more.
Counter right hand from Redkatch.
They've been stepping on each other's feet all night.
Yeah, that was a left hand by Amido.
They do again there and again.
Yeah, they're fighting for that precision there. But I like what I see in Amido. He's real loose in there. Like you said, Steve, he's moving and making a miss and just letting his punches go. I mean, he's fought better opposition than Redkatch. That might be the reason.
Another low blow.
Time. All right. How you feel? You got 5 minutes. Huh? Don't take revenge. I'm going to take a point. Don't take revenge, all right? You tell me when you're ready. You ready? Stay there. Sure.
There were 2 low blows there.
1 point for low blow.
They did take a point from
1 point, low blow. 1 point, low blow. Come on, you got to pick them up, all right? Let's go. Time in.
Well, guys, I don't know. Usually you take a point after 2 warnings. I only saw 1 hard warning.
I did too.
Maybe I missed one. It's possible, but
it seemed like it was unintentional. He didn't mean the low blow.
That right hand got Amido off balance a little bit. The left hand behind it by Redkatch. Redkatch trying to really put an emphasis on this round.
yeah, it'd be very smart for Redkatch to try to win this round, go all out.
Yeah.
It becomes a 2-point round, given the fact that he's won most of the early rounds on our cards, at least. He'd have a huge lead on the cards.
Stop with the belt, guys.
Counter right hand again. He got by Amido, and he got Redkatch turned. So this is round 6.
We talked about Amidu having such a big advantage in terms of quality of opposition, but I think what really is going to serve Redkatch well is that 10-rounder he had on Showbox last year against Tony Lewis, because that was a hard 10-round fight, and it's going to benefit him.
Against a live fighter. Tony Lewis came into that fight really believing he was going to win the fight. We gave him a chance.
Yeah, Redkatch had to work. Lewis was active, he was game, and you know, he came to win. So you learn from a fight like that, and you know that's got to be behind Redkatch's mind. You know, I went 10 tough rounds with Tony Lewis. A guy that has fought decent opposition too.
Yeah.
And there was a right hand just dropped. Amido Amidu. Combination started with the right hand, then a left behind it.
7. Hey, look at me. All right, hands up.
Appears to have his legs under him. Long way to go here.
Both, all right. I'm watching you. Let's go.
And Redkatch going to try to close the deal. There was a right hand and another one. And another right hand by Redkatch. Redkatch not letting him get off the ropes. Combinations and another shot drops him.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You want to continue? Hands up. Hands up. Do you want to continue? Walk towards me. I'm keeping an eye on you. Keep an eye. Let's go.
Still over a minute to go in this round. There is no 3 knockdown rule, but I don't believe it would go much past 1 more.
Yeah, I'm surprised the fight wasn't stopped because Ray Corona twice asked Amidu to raise his gloves after the knockdowns. He didn't do it either time.
Yeah. Redkatch trying to pin him on the ropes. It won't take a lot.
And Amidu's never been down before, and it shows because he's not holding.
Redkatch definitely showing his power with them straight left hands.
Look out.
There's an uppercut inside by Redkatch.
Nothing to the body from Redkatch. Another low blow.
Yeah. And 3 more uppercuts by Redkatch.
Stop. Take a step back. Both of you.
That's clear. Amidu is
You
not.
got to cut from a punch.
Yeah.
Cut from a punch.
Clear.
Cut from a punch.
He's still wild.
Look at his eyes, very glossy.
Cut from a punch.
Redkatch needs another big left hand. He's got to set it up. Down the middle, down the pipe.
Amidu jumps Redkatch for the moment. Now just 5 seconds remaining in the round, and it appears Amidu is going to get through this.
Take a step back. Take a step back.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 6 completed rounds of boxing, the blue corner has informed our referee in charge, Ray Corona, to stop the contest. Therefore, your winner by way of knockout and still undefeated, Ivan Redkach.